How clear is the line between dismissive avoidant attachment style and someone with narcissistic personality style? The line is not very clear, and they're also not the same thing. This can be really confusing, especially to people that have had narcissistic relationships or toxic relationships and are experiencing dynamic when there is push and pull combination, or someone that doesn't know a lot about narcissism and that push and pull combination of anxious and avoidant trap can very much mimic the push and pull between the narcissist and an empath. I was once in a relationship that was very toxic, and at that time I didn't know much about narcissism. So I didn't know what to do, and I came across attachment book. And then I was so happy that I have some sort of answer that could explain this very unhealthy dynamic. And I approached my partner to talk to him about the attachment and to check out what sort of attachment style he may be. Of course, he immediately dismissed me, invalidated me. And I thought, this is dismissive avoidant. So if I give him space, he'll come around and we'll be able to work this out. And none of those things happen. In my example, you can see how lines can be blurred. And as human beings, we tend to want to have answers. We want to make sense of things. So when we have framework like the attachment, that gives us that answer that, if I give it more space here, if I am more empathetic, if I try more, then we can get through this. And what does that look like? It's very similar when the person starts dealing with cognitive dissonance in narcissistic relationships and also tell themselves story like, if I try more here, if I love him or her more, that things could change. If I'm more flexible, if I'm less needy. And so people can waste years fixing the attachment style, being the anxious avoidant trap. Meanwhile, they're in a narcissistic trap and lose years and years and years of searching for something that was not there to begin with. However, there are situations where you're truly in the anxious avoidant trap. So how do you discern between the two? You can look at definitions of both of these and find the difference, where narcissists tend to be more grandiose, they lack empathy, they have very low interest in the self-reflection, they're exploitive, manipulative, and all their actions are towards that supremacy over you, while dismissive avoidant motivation are more independence and freedom. And you can be in these cycles and still be confused. I think that the best thing that you can do is look internally and listen to your intuition. I think it's important to note here that anxious attachment style, fearful attachment styles are all possibly narcissists as well. So it's not just dismissive avoidant, it's all insecure attachment style. And everyone that has narcissistic personality style also has insecure attachment style. They all have fear of abandonment, and that's why they lash out when there's a threat of abandonment as well. So there is a lot of overlap in this area, and a lot of people talk about this like they live in a totally different planets, and no, they don't. There's a lot of overlap here, and discernment is the key to discern between what's going on with the other person versus what's going on with yourself. How are you integrating the reality that's in front of you? Are you just trying to tell yourself a story that would excuse someone else's inappropriate, dismissive, invalidating behavior? Or do you see a genuine effort from the other side that gives you confidence that there is self-awareness and empathy there. So while there is no 100% answer here, you really need to discern and figure out what matters to you. If you had a lot of toxic and narcissistic relationships and now you are in this super high and low dynamic, that may not be the best fit for you no matter what someone's definition is, and you don't have to get to the answers of that. You just have to know what's good for you.